president. So he had to be diplomatic. It's like, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. And that's what it seems like it's done in some way or the other.
I think my brother Saber Ahmed Jazba has got his cataracts on. First of all, I know he's an ardent supporter of African National Congress. He's been supporting them for years. But I want to tell both of you, I don't understand how both of you think that the Mlanga Commission is going to bring any changes to the top echelon of the ruling party. I don't believe, first of all, if Cyril Ramaphosa cannot get rid of them when he's aware of the fraud and corruption that's happening in this country, for 40 years they destroyed what's happening in this country. Saber Ahmed Jazbai, how can you so categorically say you're such an intellectual that you'll still support a party that has destroyed this country? Please let me know.
I want to ask you this question. Which party in South Africa, I'm not talking of this MK and all those guys, which party in this country stood by Indians, supported Indians, took Indian into its economic power and got rid of apartheid? Now, was it the DA? Was it the COPE or anybody else? Now, having been involved in the struggle, I've seen the evisceration of law in this country. And that concerns me. As long as you got law and order, you would be able to govern effectively. Now, let's look at Mohammed's statement. Mohammed, I address you directly. The ANC is not at one level of a political party. It operates at three different levels: national, provincial, and local. They have no control in local. They have no control in provincial. They barely have control at national. Now, they're trying to regain all three. And the Madlanga Commission, which was preceded by the Jondo Commission, is intending to regain lost ground. Now, whether my cataract has been failed or not is not an issue. One will look at the reality in the ground. A lot of things can happen in 24 hours. But the radio is a medium that is intended to direct operation. And the outcome will depend on how Mr. Ramaphosa stands from 2026 onwards. Because his term of office comes to an end rather prematurely, and if he's dropped, then who do we have succeeding in? Mohammed?
But at the same time, a week ago, he made mention publicly. Cyril Ramaphosa made mention publicly that if you want me to resign, I'll resign. So there is something happening behind the scenes for him to come or make that suggestion or request, or maybe want to come to that decision.
Quite right.
No, we don't want him to resign. Because I don't believe there's anybody ready to take over after him. But this is for Saber. Saber, the African National Congress in 2026 won't get more than 32% of the vote.
I say 25.
Okay. You know that I've been silent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no. I know you've been silent because you're feeling the pain of the truth. I understand that.
Okay, so Sabir,
what is truth? You keep mentioning truth. What is truth? Because
truth is the fact.
Looking in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only way the truth can be discerned, not through commissions, but a court of law. We know what Mr. Zuma has done through a court of law. If you have no faith in a court of law, then you got a problem.
Sabir, let's do this, Sabir. Sabir, let's do this. Let's ask our listeners tonight, and we will call you later on to tell you how many of our listeners in 2026 will vote African National Congress. Come, challenge you.
Okay.
I don't believe at this point in time that will be relevant or accurate. Because if an election is right now, the ANC will get 0. You know why? Because the media is directly in the operation. The truth can only be ascertained if these people who are named stand down. Now, Mkunu has stood down, sorry. Now, it depends on others, whether they have the courage to do that. So, what is truth? That's the question I keep asking. My own prejudice aside, I don't know the truth. I want to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And only a court of law can tell me an approximation of the truth, not the whole truth.
So you don't believe the contributions of Kat Vusi Matlela and the names that he's naming, the amounts that he's naming, the people that's involved, Shadrach Sibia, all the top echelons of the SAPS. Remember, this commission is highly focused on the SAPS and how corrupt they are from the top, bottom, from Beki Cele, Chunu, and everybody else. But I'm saying to you, let's talk about you and or Doc and I, not you. You learned that you're a legal expert. Let's talk about Doc and I, lay people on the ground. Lay people on the ground have been disappointed with the running of this government from the African National Congress for the last 15 years. We've given them a chance every 4 or 5 years when it's time to vote. Nothing has changed, from water, from sanitation, from electricity, from schools having no sanitary. Schools are still in rural areas. Sabir, they've done nothing. They've done nothing because, and I agree with you, it's got maybe nothing to do with national government, but it has got the direct effect of you people on the ground. And that's what's going to make the vote. And I tell you now, I asked Mike, and we have a good number of listeners. And if I ask them now to tell me how many will vote ANC, you'll be lucky if you get 10.
I don't trust what you call, I'm trying to find a word here, accuracy from so-called polls on the radio. Now, what you say in Mohammed, and I must digress here, is no longer about Kat Matlala. It is about a governance machine that has malfunctioned.
Yes.
What it must do is to explain itself. It is about a culture where accountability is not optional. It is about leadership that treats public trust as an accessory.
True.
And now it's going to be what the ANC has to rectify. Now, I'm going to go a little much further. The Indian National Congress of India, that is, faced a similar situation. And right now it stands at 15 to 20% of the poll. So you got to look at it from that perspective. And this is what the lesson that the ANC, that the political parties are all jumping on. History is a lesson in operation.
Jazakallah Sabir, very thought-provoking.
Doc, you will let me go now?
I will, yeah, inshallah. I know. I was waiting for you to make that suggestion. I was capitalizing on keeping you as long as possible, mashallah.
Thank you, Sabir. Thank you for your insight.
Thank you, Muhammad. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
And may Allah Ta'ala keep you
You're a great guy. Thank you, boss.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So I think we had a message here from Nasima Mohammed. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Jeewa and Mohammed. Let's see here. I concur. Just give me 1 second. Let's cut this call quickly. Come in anyway. Okay. Nasima Mohammed says, I concur with Mr. Jazbai. Mr. Ramaphosa is serious about getting the rotten eggs out, even though he faced backlash from some of his own members. Can the two of you suggest which would be a viable party to vote for, taking into consideration that the majority parties support Zionism, or the others are dangerous revolutionaries who only see things their way, whether it will take the country backwards or not? Warmest wishes and duas. Nasima Mohammed, she says, P.S. Mohammed, she says, I have good vision, no cataracts.
I know that's a very good question, and I can't answer it right now. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I hope and pray there's changes that are going to be significant, and maybe my heart will change, and I'll vote African National Congress. But if you're going to ask me who should we vote for now, I agree with Nasima. It's better the devil we know than the devil that we don't. But there need to be some very, very significant changes to convince people that their lives will change if we're still going to put the pen next to the green, yellow, and go for 2026.
Another message, Assalamu alaikum, excellent topics. Yes, they supported us in the past because they needed us. Now they're letting us down. We need to live in the present so there's a future for the kids. He says, not me, means he won't vote. The accounting alone shows the corruption. He says, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's definitely
it has to be a duck.
100%. Can't be anything else. But that's where the disappointment comes with Cyril Ramaphosa. I've never met or seen a president that everything around him can be crumbling and falling, whereas all the natural disasters are taking place around him. This guy is so chill and so relaxed, like there is no problem in the world. So for the benefit of the listeners, I just want to play a clip. It's a bit long, but it will put this whole thing into perspective of what this whole Matlangla Commission is all about. Let's listen to this.
Commissioner, and he claimed that Police Minister Senzo Mchunu meddled with investigations into political killings with none other than Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya, guys. Now, Mkhwanazi claims that Mchunu and Sibiya tried to shut down the KZN Political Killings Task Team for shady political reasons. Sibiya did take away 121 live investigations from the task team of Mkhwanazi and did nothing with them for months. Those were returned last week, and Mchunu has been placed on special leave by one of his closest allies, President Cyril Ramaphosa, people. Mchunu was crucial to Ramaphosa's rise to power. Now, Shadrack Sibiya was made to stay at home by National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola, and just this weekend, Masemola also suspended Shadrack Sibiya. But wait, Sibiya has also accused General Mkhwanazi of not pursuing the AKA murder investigation. You following? We got so much further to go. Now, police minister on special leave, Mchunu, was already in trouble, but now looks properly dodgy because it turns out he was offended by a TikTok video made by a comedian called Anton Taylor. And next thing, the Hawks were raiding Anton's house. What the heck, as Tyler would say, over jokes. What is this? America? North Korea? America? Now, there's currently no evidence that Mchunu pressured the Hawks to raid Anton's home, but what else could have made the Hawks do that? They investigate high-priority crimes, organized crime, dangerous people. Anton hasn't even been charged with anything. He just made jokes, but then they dropped the whole thing. But now, Mchunu looks like a villain, people. And that's not all. Mchunu was also accused of knowing the fixer named Brown Mokhotsi. Now, I like Brown Mokhotsi fans in the crowd tonight? Okay. Mchunu denied knowing Brown Mokhotsi at all at a meeting earlier this year, but has now admitted that he knows him as a comrade, but not an associate. What's the difference between a comrade and an associate? He hasn't told us yet. Brown Mokhotsi is a mysterious figure who wasn't much known before Mkonazi's press conference. He is connected to ANC leaders and also the notorious Vusimuzi Kat Matlala. Now, Matlala is an infamous tenderpreneur who was involved in the Tembisa hospital tender scandal and also had a 360 million rand tender with SAPS that was then cancelled, but only after Matlala already got 60 million rand. Now, Matlala is currently in jail on trial for attempting to have his ex-girlfriend, Tebogo Tobayane, assassinated, people. There's more. While Matlala was in jail, he was caught with a cell phone. And guess who tried to call Kat Matlala multiple times on the day of Mkonazi's press conference? Brown Mokhotsi, people. And guess who else knows Kat Matlala? Former police minister Becky Cele. He stayed in Kat Matlala's luxury hotel penthouse suite in Pretoria free of charge on Matlala's invitation while he was police minister. Somehow, though, Hele says he doesn't know Kat Matlala, which is weird since Becky Cele and Matlala have exchanged more than 100 calls and messages on that cell phone, including 10 calls in one day. And if that isn't weird, because Hele says that they aren't even friends or business partners, because that's what Cele said, why did the two of them meet at the mansion of another dodgy tenderpreneur, Hangwani Maumela? Why is he a cupcake? I'll explain in just a second. I think that you know where we are going with this. So these two met at this guy, who, by the way, has basically no photos online, at their mansion. Now, Hangwani Maumela was also involved in the Tembisa hospital scandal. Last week, the state seized Maumela's many luxury homes across the country, luxury cars, and a party boat that he has, which are together valued at 325 million rand. Oh, and did I mention that Hangwani Maumela is also President Ramaphosa's nephew by law from a previous marriage? Ramaphosa says he doesn't know him, though. But wait, I'm not even nearly done. Focus. Head of Police Criminal Intelligence, Dumisani Khumalo, was arrested on corruption charges. He is on bail. Now, National Police Commissioner Masemola wants to have Khumalo return to work, even though he is on bail for committing a crime. Masemola said that he ordered an independent investigation that cleared Khumalo of wrongdoing. Khumalo was once the head of the KZN Political Killings Task Team, which links him to Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. And they partnered with Mkhwanazi and Fani Masemola to try and stop Mchunu from cancelling the Political Killings Task Team. But before you think this is just Mkhwanazi and his friends, the good guys, they are also Becky Cele's guys. They are Becky Cele's guys, people. Mkhwanazi and Khumalo have been defying Mchunu, according to Mchunu's people, and still reporting to Police Minister Becky Cele, even after Cele is no longer the police minister. When Ramaphosa ordered that the Political Killings Task Team be set up, Cele was the police minister. So these two are also connected. And there are also criminal allegations against National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola. He's facing corruption charges for irregularly purchasing 5 buildings worth 120 million rand. And by the way, this investigation also implicates Dumisani Khumalo, the man who Masemola said had done no wrong. And while all this has been going on, we still have one more face. New Police Minister acting, Feroz Kachalia, is here. That taping did not go that well. He was personally selected by President Ramaphosa to take over while Mkhunu is under investigation. Kachalia has already fought with National Commissioner Fani Masemola because Fani Masemola, for no reason that he told anyone, moved the 121 dockets from Sibiya's office back to the political killings task team. That infuriated Ramaphosa and Kachalia because the dockets are key evidence for the commission, and moving them may make us, the public, think that they have been tampered with when they are moved. Are we done? We are done. I think that's it.
Brother Mohammed, this reminds me of a soapy called Days of Our Lives. I mean, it's a real joke, to be very, very honest with you. And this is only just the beginning. Shabir Basha sent a message here. I agree with Sabir Jazba and Sister Nasima's comments. Sabir says, which party stood by Indians answered this. And they also allowed us to do dawah, and that is the ANC. You see, again, I find it very difficult to understand. Let's look at a scenario. You got a big-time drug dealer down your road, and we had one some time ago. And this guy is basically involved in criminal activities, right? And at the same time, using whatever money that he has extra and starts feeding the poor, paying for their lights, paying for the rent, and paying for all those things. What we fail to understand is that the ANC of those days were respectable, honorable, and they had morals and values. What percentage of those ANC individuals are still around? Maybe under 5%. And those same 5% that we're speaking about are those that basically are the ones that are running now in charge. And those are the ones that are corrupt because the old guard, a lot of them have moved away, stayed away, don't want to get involved and all those things. So yes, we are in a bit of a dilemma where we don't have an alternative. Okay. So we don't have an alternative. Do we still go and vote for a party that have destroyed this country and practically destroyed this country? And if you can see the amount of money that they take in and utilizing for their own personal gains and their own personal needs, is shocking. So I find it very, very difficult to understand that how would I still want to go and vote for that type of party. We need to find an alternative. Yes, we don't have an alternative, but we need to find a better way. Unless if they put in different leaders in those positions, maybe things can change. But once again, that doesn't mean if ANC has done so much for the Indians and so much. What about their own people? They've done a lot for their own people and they betrayed their own people. So who are we? They can discard us and one day do what Idi Amin did, put us in a plane and send us away. They'll do that at any time. You can see the racist and Islamic phobic comments that are coming in from the new generation that we're noticing. Messages are coming there. You there, Brother Mohammed? Okay. 1 second. I need to just get Spoo. Can't hear you. Let me just play this clip and I'll just get my engineer here. I don't know where he's relaxing. He's not well today.
Dear President Ramaphosa, do you ever get really angry? So angry that you want to throw your iPhone against the wall? When you read News 24's latest Tembisa Hospital revelation this week, how your distant relative Hangwani Mamela bought a 52 million rand supercar with money meant for poor, sick people, did you froth at the mouth? I wish we could have seen you in that moment. Did you call Mamela and shout at him? Did you maybe walk to his mansion in Sanders next to yours and let rip? Have you visited the Tembisa Hospital since the scandal unearthed by Babita Deokaran broke? Don't you think you should have seen what was broken to pay for that supercar? And what about Selo Sekoko, the ANC bigwig in Ekurhuleni, who scored millions from Tembisa Hospital? Did you give him a piece of your mind? Did you lecture him on the memory of O.R. Tambo, Nelson Mandela, and Walter Sisulu? Do you seethe when you read about another tender corruption scandal involving your party members, the ANC, on News 24? I remember your mentor, Madiba, losing his cool when he was deeply upset, like when he accused F.W. de Klerk of negotiating in bad faith at Kudesa. Real anger at injustice. Does the pervasive violence on the Cape Flats move you to fury, Mr. President? Kids mowed down daily. You have vast powers to intervene. How many more children must die before you declare a state of emergency on the Cape Flats? How do you react to the infuriating evidence from the Madlanga Commission that senior police officers are on the payrolls of organized criminals? You have the power to suspend police generals immediately. You have a limited window of less than 4 years to appoint decent people to run the SAPS. I know you're busy with the G20 summit, rolling out the red carpet for the world and welcoming them to South Africa. We support you showcasing our country. But South Africa needs you to see what we see daily. Burning universities in the Eastern Cape, obscene unemployment, broken infrastructure, and crippling corruption. Do you believe there's a place for anger in a deeply troubled land like ours, Mr. President? Or are you happy to wave and smile?
That was the editor from News 24. Messages are coming in. Faiz, Salams, Al-Ansar team. I never really cared for politics, but with all the corruption, I appreciate the fact that we are able to go to our masjid, churches, temples, and have the freedom to practice our different faith in peace. Alhamdulillah, tonight Nightline show, I can say on national radio, Ramapala, and not be afraid, Shukar. My concern is, if the ANC loses more power, the country falls deeper into the hands of the racist party. Then what happens to the case about the ICJ is a conundrum. Allah give hidayah to the people who make the right decision, inshallah. You see, again, I have difficulty and a challenge. Here is people that is stealing, and don't care about their own people. We might say, no, we got masjids, we got the freedom to pray, the freedom for dawah, the freedom of all this. But if you can see the people that are suffering around you, I'm not talking about us as Indians and Muslims. I'm talking about all the other races and religions and basically the majority people. They're battling, they're suffering. So it's okay for us to carry on and say, no, but these guys did so much good for us and these guys did this for us. But we're not looking at the bigger picture. Brother Mohammed? You're back. Brother Mohammed, I think your internet froze again. Okay.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
You see this, and I agree with you, what you said just now. You see this point of view where it's only a party that works for ANC and we can do what we like and pray how we like and allows us freedom of actual religion is a very narrow narrative based on our self-interest only. We are a small number. The percentage of Indians and Muslims in this country is very, very, very small. And you can't judge the success of an organization because they have provided for you or allowed you to do what you want to do and supported you to go on accepting all that they do, and they just destroyed this country. There's 55 million other people that's been suffering under their rule. Now, I am not an anti-African National Congress member, and I want to make that very, very clear. I'm a very, 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 very disappointed member of the African National Congress because I have sacrificed my years at school. I sacrificed my matric to fight for this country, and I didn't fight for what people are, for the leadership that is in place right now. So unless there's drastic changes, I'll have to think very seriously about who I'm going to put my cross next year in 2026.
Mm-hmm. Nasima made mention here, mostly DA members go on about the guy being Mr. Ramaphosa's nephew. He was actually his ex-wife's family member. Mr. Ramaphosa was divorced from her years ago. I followed the Madlanga Commission. It's obvious that those implicated are guilty and might be imprisoned. We are tired of commission without arrest. And this guy bad talking, but Mr. Kikalia is talking nonsense. They always go with the same rhetoric that DA and ultra-right Christian parties do. I don't really agree fully, because we need to understand that, yes, we do not have an alternative, and we can understand that. Let's be logical and let's be reasonable and let's be fair. First, when Cyril Ramaphosa was confronted about this guy being his nephew and family member, he denied it completely. Then after that, he agreed that he met him once while he was taking his walk, and they took pictures outside his house. Then he agreed the second time his mother came out and met with him outside, and they had conversations. There was much more interaction. You see, the sad part is that, as Sabir Jazbai say, what is the truth? Today, we don't find people speaking truth in Hari, except the individual that introduced and brought this all about. So yes, we are in a bit of a dilemma because we don't have an alternative. And that is where the challenge comes. But inshallah, we hope that if ANC can bring better leaders, which we don't see happening. And let's be honest, for those that are involved in all these corruptive activities, I like to know how many of them have played a role during apartheid days. How many of them were there in the freedom struggle? Very small percentage. They just capitalize on it. Another message, salam and duas, brothers. I've been in a struggle from the 80s. Release of Mandela while schooling at Meadowlands High School. Became a strong supporter of the ANC. But now I will say the ANC does not know how to control our country. So many commissions, nothing done. ANC's official commit a crime in one position like fraud, yes, and then they get promoted and move to another position, like Sandile Gumede. I'm in Ward 37, and we formed a strong ANC support over 350 plus. Now all wants MK. Every infrastructure destroyed. Too many promises, no action come 2026. Westridge Newlands election, our area, the ANC will lose. The ANC never created employment. A person only gets temp job like for a year, back to unemployment queue. It is not for the gift of the givers, more disasters. Firstly, the ANC does not finance, and budgeting is important, yet the president now is given, can't read the amount, looks like 630 million rands to fight TB and AIDS. There's from Mohammed Shafi Ismail. 60 years old from Westridge Newlands. Okay, let's see. Nasima, why are you not speaking about the role of the other parties? Nasima, we do speak about the role of the other parties. We have made mention of how last week we made mention about the Islamophobia that was taking place, and how the DA suddenly started rushing on the bandwagon and started fighting for Muslims' right when the Sauk issue came about. But when it came to these Palestinian refugees, they were silent. In fact, I am going to be playing a clip on the role and the double standards that they have. So end of the day, we don't take any sides, and we're trying to be neutral. And again, we're encouraging just for people to create an awareness and open your mind, so that you basically, if you go and vote and when you go vote, and I think I encourage you all to vote, because that's the only way we can make changes. Okay, but again, the question is, who do we vote for? Let's hope after this Matlangra commission, let's hope if people will be, all, as I say, the rotten apples will be basically removed in some way or the other, so maybe we have a better option. Let's see, Sabir has put one of his comment. People are malleable, Dr.Jeewa and Mohamed. Allegations against Kunu Sibaya, by who? Is the fact that Kunu possibly a presidential candidate anything to do with allegation? Yes, he was the one that's supposed to be taking over. Remember the other aspirant, Dr. Swearing Kize, who stood for presidential post, also discredited. So there's no connection. Remember the mal-aligned Jacob Zuma, a KZN person, all three are Italians. That was from Sabir Jazbai. We'll take a quick Nasheed break and we'll be back with you with our next segment.
Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. आँखों के उजालों में, दिल की गहराइयों में, धड़कनों में, सांसों में, हर शय में तू ही तू, क्या कहें क्या शान तेरी, हो पाए ना बयां, चाहे जो कुन कह दे थम जाए ये जहां.
Gift of the Needy team is working hands-on in Gaza to distribute aid in this time of crisis. Donate your zakat now to our brothers and sisters in Palestine who are in dire need. Standard Bank, Gift of the Needy account 272327654. Donate online on www.giftoftheneedy.com. Call us on 03127131102. Gift of the Needy, bringing ease to those in need.
The views and opinions expressed by the guest and presenters of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
Color your world with Color Trade Paints. Color Trade Paints, stockers of interior and exterior coatings. We got you covered with our wide range of roof colors and are stockers of industrial floor coatings. A Color Trade innovation, the 4-in-1 primer must always be your first choice. Magic Cover PVA, 99 Rand per 5 liters. Peach, cream or white. Restore your driveway with high durability jet black tar coat, 690 Rands per 20 liters. Get to a Color Trade paint store near you or visit our e-store. Call 086-126-8888 for free delivery. Make the right paint choice. Always ensure color before trade. Buy Color Trade paints.
Iqra Waqf. Read and understand the Holy Quran. Your program giving you the most powerful manual for life. It's the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Last Testament. The ayahs are recited, translated and explained for us to understand by various learned scholars of Islam. Comes to you every Sunday at 8 p.m. and Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Iqra Wafham. Read and understand.
The Debonair's Pizza Real Deal is bringing to you 6 amazing flavors from just 31 Rand 90. Perfect for a lunch fix between errands or a cozy moment with the family. Join me, Bibi Amina Fili, on Saturday, the 6th of December from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for our live broadcast at Debonair's Pizza North Beach, 139 Lower Marine Parade Street, where all the flavors and prices are waiting for you. Debonair's Pizza. Try something amazing.
Durban Halal Meats, the butcher with a twist. Whether you're firing up the braai or stocking up for your business, we've got you covered. From premium lamb, beef and chicken to custom cuts and bulk orders, all 100% halal, certified by Sanha. Enjoy our convenient buy and braai service, fast delivery and easy online ordering at durbanhalalmeats.co.za. Visit us at 84 Felix Dlamini Road, Durban Halal Meats. Quality, affordability, trust. Meat made better.
Sunday Lounge. The Sunday Lounge. With Salma Kazi Wahab, 10 to 12. Latest machine. Celebrity artist features. News from the machine world. Top 10 countdown. Sunday Lounge. With Salma Kazi Wahab.
Elevate your style with Al Noor kurtas and fragrances from Potent Ice Perfumes, exclusively available at Al Ansar Shop. Visit us at 207 West Road or call 031-208-1601. Experience the best in fashion and perfumery. Al Ansar Shop where elegance meets fragrance.
Black November is here at Bearings and Brake. Check out our massive savings on all BW brand bearings and chains and much more. These specials last only until the 15th of December. Spend over 500 Rand and have your items couriered to you absolutely free. Bearings and Brake Val, located at 13B Old Johannesburg Road, Duncanville corner of Bassima Street. Call us now on 010-023-3661. Bearings and Brakes, the world rotates with us.
At Checkers, our Steakhouse Classic range is crafted for those who take pride in every braai. Each cut is hand-trimmed by our expert butchers, perfectly matured and vacuum-packed for tenderness that melts in your mouth. From man-sized T-bone steak, beef tomahawk, and classic steak cuts, our butchery brings you over 21 Steakhouse Classic steak cuts to choose from, perfectly prepared. Checkers Saxony Westwood. Butchery, bakery, and deli, certified by the NIHT.
Plan your dream holiday with the specialist, World of Travel, as we pride ourselves in offering you the best in Hajj and Umrah. We also offer travel packages to the Middle East, Far East, and many more exotic destinations. Call our professional travel consultants now on 031 20 888877 or view our website www.worldoftravel.co.za. Visit us at 44 Crescent Street as memorable journeys begin with World of Travel by Irshad Malik.
There's nothing quite like the taste of a traditional family meal, and at the heart of every great dish is a key ingredient that brings it all together. That ingredient is Sunfoil pure sunflower cooking oil, made from only the finest sunflower seeds. It's a perfect way to enhance the taste of your family's favorite foods. Sunfoil cooking oil is more than just oil. It's the key to bring your family together over a delicious meal and making every bite taste better. Remember, the key ingredient to a great family meal is Sunfoil. Tradition just tastes better.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sponsor Kaiser, the technician. You are now listening to the biggest reality show, #Netline, exclusively on Radio Al-Ansar.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. You're listening to Nightline. It's approximately 5 minutes past 10. Time seems to be moving extremely fast. So as we conclude with the conversation about the Matlanga Commission, one truth remains impossible to ignore. And that is the Matlanga Commission is not merely examining a moment in our democracy. It is exposing the cost of our collective complacency. Every testimony, affidavit, every contradiction is a reminder that corruption is not an abstract enemy. It has names, it has offices, it signs documents, it shakes hands, and it hides behind the hope that South African will forget, move on, and simply give up, like what we saw with the Zondo Commission. Brother Mohammed, let's see if you're any better now. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you very clearly now. It's actually much better.
MashaAllah. Okay. All right. Do you want to say something?
No, because I've lost what was happening, and I'm also getting a very bad echo.
You're getting a bad echo. Okay. All right. But being lost is nothing new with you.
Yeah, I know it's fine.
It's fine, being lost. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So message came in here from Jamila. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you're well. Mohammed and Dr. Jeewa, our problem here in South Africa is with the majority ardent followers of the corrupt people who are docile, compliant, or easily influential people likened to sheep. Please read this deeply penned statements by Bolelo said so on the Fort Hare University burning. And he says, I hope it's not too long, try my best. The fire that never leaves the township. He said, when I saw part of the Fort Hare University burning, my heart broke, not because of the buildings, but because of what that fire represents. We as Black people have turned destructions into a culture. We burn, break, and destroy anything we can't control or understand. We come from the townships and rural areas where filth, chaos, and noise are our daily oxygen, and we drag the darkness with us everywhere we go. It goes on to say, a pig is the cleanest animal by nature, but after living too long in filth, it learns to love it. Even when freed, it runs back to the mud. That's us. We've adapted to chaos so much that peace feels foreign. We destroy schools, clinics, and streets as if ashes can solve problems. We burn what we need, we cry about what we lost, and then we repeat it tomorrow. He goes on to say, I see the same behavior in Parliament. Black members shouting, booing, screaming like we're in a tavern fight, not the House of Law. The speaker please mean nothing because order is not part of our culture anymore. We litter our towns, make endless noise, and call lawlessness, freedom, and protest. Means fire, stone throwing, trash on the road. Yet the real problem, the broken mindset, even those who, the broken mindset never burned in those flames. Even those who escaped the township, taxi drivers, police officers, even students, carry the same dust in their mind. The township travels with us. The township never leaves. And now the universities, the supposed places of wisdom are burning too. I thought education would wash the filth away, but the fire follows us here too. So I give up. I write this not to insult, but to expose what I see. Let the non-Black observer see us for what we've become, and let the Black reader reflect if still they can. Well said. It is so true. We see this to be very, very common. Let's see here. Okay. Brother Ismail, I think received your message, your voice note every week. My brother, we can give you a radio. We got a radio for you, but the problem is, how do we get it to Pietermaritzburg? We need to find a way. So just bear with us, because as I said, we'll have to just find a way if somebody is going to Pietermaritzburg, or we know somebody that maybe can bring it to you. And even for Muhammad Ali Shafi, we have yours, and the other few we're going to make arrangements this week, inshallah. Max says, sentiments aside, South Africa has long become a banana republic. This country has been destroyed by the ruling party and is at the precipice of collapse. Think about the children's future when you vote, not sentiments, because there may be no future for them voting the same as before, expecting a different outcome. Well, that's what the definition of sanity means. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Mohammed Shafi smiled. Some examples of corruption. Informal hawkers still did not get the 3,500 from the COVID lockdown. Sandile Gumede took over Durban, money all looted. It's now like the rubbish dump, no bins in Lepore Street, Prince Edward Street, Victoria Street, Queen Street, Albert Street, Commercial Street, Pine Street. ANC should look at payments, what is going to happen. Tourist department, sewer going into the sea, over 60% are killed every day. Look at a tourist attraction, the Queen Street Market, all around the mess. Most of our departments should run Sharia law. Oh, don't talk about introducing Sharia law. We're going to get another backlash. I think what you also need to remember, Mohammed Shafi, is, let's say hypothetically, through some miracle, they have bins every 100 meters in town. You're listening to this, Brother Mohammed? Say, if they have bins at every 100 meters in town, how many people would throw the dirt in the bins? Because it's been proven. Where there's bins, people will throw the dirt outside bins. Who is creating all that filth and the dirt? Is it the government that's creating that filth or the dirt, or it's the people living there and working there and plying their trades are the one that's throwing the dirt around it? That's where the problem comes. Is that, there has to be education all around. You there, Mohammed? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I just got a terrible echo when I talk, so he has to sort it out, or we have to go back to what we're doing.
Okay. Now, well, we don't have much long for our show. Remember, the SAUC issue has been going on for some time. Just a few general important topics that we want to end off. Unfortunately, we just want to apologize. We could not do the helping hand segment because we had to accommodate Saber Jazbai, who's basically needs to go and sleep early, and he's accommodated us today. So we had to try and push it in the back, but thought that we'll get it over, but it's a bit late. So we'll continue next time. And we felt a bit bad to take advantage of Maulana Vanka and call him very late. So we do apologize. Inshallah, we'll continue next week. Brother Mohammed, I just wanted you to listen to the short clip. Again, it's dealing with the SAUC issue. Now we know that the Nusak platform is pretty active and people are already registering. I think already you got about maybe 10, 12,000 that have already registered. This is just a short recap on the so-called Hajj and Umrah situation. Let's listen.
That everybody is in the best of health. I'm going to deal with the issues surrounding SAHUK today, as well as the concerns surrounding the Democratic Alliance getting involved with regard to the Hajj and Umrah industry. Many of you have emailed me, WhatsApped, sent messages surrounding your concerns with regard to the new information provided by SAHUK coming from the kingdom, as well as the fact that SAHUK does not want to divulge certain information and are noting that the information is confidential. You've also noted your concerns with regard to the Democratic Alliance, who is silent upon the genocide that is currently being committed in Gaza, but now wants to involve themselves with Hajj and Umrah, and in order to secure the votes of the Muslims, and obviously that is of grave concern. Now, many of you that knows me knows that I've been involved in the Hajj and Umrah industry for many years educating pilgrims, raising funds for pilgrims, etc. We've also been very involved with regard to this issue surrounding Sahuk, as well as ensuring an investigation into the Sahuk debacle, as well as operators who are alongside Sahuk attempting to monopolize the Hajj and Umrah industry. So as you well know, Al-Jama has been on the forefront of assisting and creating spaces for conversations, for discussions, for investigations with regard to the issues in the Hajj and Umrah industry. Now, I just want to remind people that Minister Naledi Pandor appointed a ministerial committee to investigate concerns surrounding the Hajj and Umrah industry, and that was headed by the former Member of Parliament, Ibrahim Rasool. And the investigation was to evaluate SAUK, who does not have a formal legal authority in dealing with Hajj and Umrah, and also to provide advice on a more equitable, accountable, and effective system and an increase in the Hajj quota. Now, we are currently sitting with a list of over 10,000 people on that Hajj and Umrah list. We are sitting with a situation where an investigation was conducted, and I'm fully alert to the fact that a report was compiled, and that report was then provided to Minister Naledi Pandor, and that was provided to her in 2024. So I have requested on several occasions for the final report. In 2024, I also forwarded a question to Parliament, and I've placed that out in social media spaces. So what is our demand? Our demand now should be that the Department of International Relations please ensure that that report is provided to the public and all stakeholders as a matter of urgency. Because SAUK is currently exercising public power without a legal framework, and they are violating the principle of legality. So these are the allegations that sits before us. And Department of International Relations, as well as the Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Commission, both have a role to play in what is currently happening to our pilgrims. It is crucial that the relevant departments provide us with this report. And we all know, and working in the industry and having assisted in the industry, we all know that Saudi, year in, year out, brings in new rules and regulations. We also know that Saudi is...
Sorry, Marv, this is just a more technical issue. Welcome back, and you tune into Nightline. Every week from 8:30 till late, we open the line for honest conversations, exploring real stories, real struggles, and real inspiration. So we've received quite a number of messages. Thank you very much for all the messages. Let me just see here. After listening to the ad hoc committee, it seems that when Ramaphosa appointed police commissioners, he was following the idiom, set a thief to catch a thief. That's from Salim. Assalamu alaikum. What is the criteria for receiving a radio? Strange that I was not given a requested. The criteria for getting a radio is two. One is that you have to be deserving and cannot afford a radio, which is not much, is only about 180 rands. And the second issue we have is the problem comes about is coming and giving your, if you find that it's easy to come and pick it up from Al-Ansar bookshop, then you'll get your radio as quick as possible, because here we sponsoring this radio from our own pocket, we go buy it, and then we also had to go to do deliveries. When we went and did deliveries for the hamper last time, it was a real logistic nightmare. So inshallah, just maybe send us a message or a voice note that if you cannot afford it, then we will definitely put you on the list. Okay, let's see if Faiz, saw a message here from Faiz. Okay, salams. When I talk about freedom, I talk not only about Muslim, Indians, or anyone creed or race. The DA openly denies the genocide and accepts money from the Zionists. Do we want a country run by the likes of Trump and Zionist cronies? No matter what the sacrifice, we must stand for our freedom. My brother, we all have sacrificed a lot during the struggle. I personally was beaten and thrown in jail a couple of times during the boycotts. Let's not sell our freedom for the luxuries of the DA and Zionists, including Trump. Trump promised us these people will never keep their promise. This we have seen over and over again. Let's see, next message. Okay, we read that message. Okay, I think we got a voice note from Scully. Can we listen to Scully?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Salam to Mohammed Bhai and to Anwar Bhai, Scully. Man, I'm enjoying the show, and you would know what we can hear, no? Things were going on. God. Lovely. Keep it up. Have a good night, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Scully. Nasima Mohammed also sent a voice note. Okay, why are you not speaking about the role of the other parties? I'll comment on that as soon as we listen to your voice note.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Mohammed and the listeners again. We are quite forgetting something. It's just not the ANC in government anymore. It's a government of national unity, remember? So why is everybody getting so het up about the ANC? They're all together. It's the DA. Why is everybody not saying, what is the DA doing? I mean, it's been over a year now. Come on. Granted, we all realize by now that, ANC messed up and dropped the ball, figuratively, very, very hard, and made lots and lots of mistakes. And there's been a lot of crooks in that party. And what is amazing, though, I'm listening to these clips with all due respect, Doc. These are, DA supporters who are coming and shouting about things that we already know about and also embellishing it with their own bias. Really, I follow the Madlanga Commission. Granted, they're guilty and they must go to jail, and every bit of what they've stolen must be taken back and their assets, seized, obviously. And the thing is, all the flack that Mr. Ramaphosa gets himself, I've listened to him be very serious about getting rid of the rot. Inshallah, we get these rotten apples out. And it's untrue to say that the ANC hasn't done anything. Let's face it. Let's go back to the dawn of democracy, the freedom we have now. And I can assure you that what people want is probably not what we need at all, because they really don't know what's coming if they are so blasé about what could happen, the way it is happening in other parts of the world like America and the UK and Germany and so on. So let's be circumspect and not pinpoint ANC only. They're not the majority government now. Let's talk about the DA and all the other Zionists affiliated that are sitting there with them. What are they doing? Come on, people, let's be circumspect. Thank you. Have a lovely evening. Love the show. It's nice to see you again.
Jazakallah, Nasima, thank you very much. We do appreciate when you engage with us. We agree to disagree. Brother Mohammed, your comment on what you heard from Nasima?
Nasima is a wonderful colleague of mine and a very good African National Congress member. Nasima, for me, the DA doesn't exist, and I think any Muslim that belongs to the DA needs to look very deep into their conscience, because it's not a party to belong to. Yes, I agree with you. It's the government of national unity, and you can't blame the African National Congress. But let's be honest, and I'm an African Congress member and always been one, that they've messed up, okay? So we must bring it to their attention that they messed up. They must get it right. Now, I'll tell you now, there's no alternative party to vote for. So let's just make sure, with all our criticism about the African National Congress, they look within themselves and make some changes. And if the changes come, even if it's a small change, I'll support them in next, and I'm sure lots of other people. There's no other party that we can support. So DA doesn't exist for me.
Okay, just to add on my side, to clarify a few things, Nasima. One is that if you have been following our show, we talk about all the different political parties. We have spoken about DA. We've actually also approached DA, specifically our Muslim counselors that are part of DA. They have
100 times.
Yes, and they've ignored us. And the reason why we've confronted them was also to confront them about the so-called principles and the values of the DA. So we say it the way it is, and we said it again recently, that DA made a big issue about wanting to take Sauk to court and wanted to do this and do that. And we all know it was just to get Muslim votes. Then we had this Palestinian refugees that landed up. They are the ones that were responsible by putting all the hate that was put on social media. Second thing, when I do my work and my research, there's one thing that I make sure is I don't get clips that are from a different organization or different party. Those two clips that I played, and the one was a news editor. And again, when we look at the facts, it's the facts that we take into consideration, not just any willy-nilly stuff. So we do double check and we try to be neutral. Now, you mentioned early on that let's not forget what ANC has done at the dawn of our democracy. Correct. Look at the people that were in charge and running ANC those days. Right up to Thabo Mbeki's time. Where are they? Do you know how many of these guys are sitting in the background that would love to get back into government, but they refuse because they don't want to be party to the people? Then you say, no, things will come right. They'll rectify it. Or now it's a government of national unity. What the government of national unity has to do with these ANC individuals are basically pocketing millions and millions. Come on, let's take Tembisa Hospital. Do you know what's going on in Tembisa Hospital? You know how they're battling. You know how they're suffering. So yes, they might have done good during the apartheid days. They might have done good in the dawn of dawn of democracy. But after that, the crooks came in. Now my question is, why would I want to vote for crooks? Things were bad during Zuma's time. It was bad. Did it get better? In fact, I had high hopes. Islam Ramaphosa is coming, good guy. He got money. Obviously, he won't do all those things. But by him being silent and trying to get rid of these guys, he already last week wanted to throw in the towel. I'll resign. I'll give up. Because he knows he cannot win. He knows the rot is deep, Nasima. It's deep, deep, deep. And again, we are in a situation because what is the alternative? We don't have any alternative. But I would not be. I mean, I've also been involved with the ANC. I left the country because of the ANC. But I would not want to go and vote for a party who has a track record of being dishonest, have no morals, no values, pathological liars. I mean, there are a few good guys. I won't say there isn't. Okay. But yes, I would speak about the other organizations and other parties that are in parliament. And yes, I don't have confidence in any of them. And anything that they do, we also call them out. So we're not just attacking ANC. We are just speaking the truth and the facts. We want things to come right for everybody so that everybody can benefit. But it's not getting any better, it's getting worse. And I'm sure Mohammed and I will be the first one that'll be very happy if ANC can turn this thing around and change it. But you know what? Action speaks louder than words. And we know how good their words are. So again, when we basically are criticizing ANC today, you must understand, we've done it to other organizations. We also approached, who? Was it Gayton McKenzie?
PA, Gayton McKenzie.
Yeah, Patriotic Alliance. We've approached him. We wanted to confront him about his so-called Zionism and how, we even played his clip on air, how he went and said, There's no genocide taking place in Gaza. There's nothing of that sort. He says, if the people from Lesotho comes in here and kills the South African citizens, we'll go and destroy Lesotho. I mean, come on, man. That is a comment of an idiot. And I'll say it again. That is a comment of an idiot, unfortunately. So again, Nassima, we know you're a diehard ANC supporter. We are also diehard ANC. But we have to call a spade end of the day. Mohamed?
You can call a spade a shovel.
Yeah, okay. Now, I know it's getting late now, you're becoming technical. Okay, I just want to end with this last clip because you insisted and I must finish on time. So I'm just going to end off with this clip here. Here is a very powerful message. And again, I must say, and this was what we would have loved to have said last week in response to Islamophobia. Let's listen to this.
Just sit with what happened in Tashi's the other day. And if you haven't seen the video, here it is.
You need to respect the country that has given you a home. You need to respect the country. This is a very bad example for the girls to be.
That is an announcement. I believe I own the space and you are just a guest here. That is anti-Islamic racism. It's public humiliation. And it's the same old apartheid muscle, just wearing a different outfit. And what makes me furious is how comfortable she was, how bold she was, how loud she was, and how sure of herself she was. People don't speak like that by accident. They speak like that because they think that the world will protect them, and the audacity is rising. See, that kind of audacity is growing mainly because the small minority in this country, in South Africa, has started to believe that they have powerful friends overseas. They've latched onto American culture, war politics, Trump-era Islamophobia, the Western identity under threat nonsense, the idea that human rights in South Africa is optional if you don't like the person who's exercising them. That's why these groups are running to the United States to sell a fantasy of persecution. They feel safe enough to bully a Muslim woman in a restaurant and expect backup. Because in their heads, America is the big brother, America is the referee, America is the muscle. And our government has allowed America way too much rope and pull in our country to interfere in our policies, our public debates, or even our sense of belonging here. And when you let another state posture as your moral authority, you create the space for locals to act like they're untouchable. That restaurant scene, it pissed me off, but that is what it looks like on the ground. Let me just remind everybody, Muslims are not visitors in South Africa. Islam has been there for centuries. Muslims helped build the country, its economy, its culture, its language, its liberation movements, and its daily life. Cape Malay heritage is a South African heritage. Call to prayer in South Africa is South African soundscape. And the Constitution, as much as they don't like it, protects freedom of religion because this country decided that never again will we allow one group to dictate humanity of another. So when someone attacks a Muslim woman and how she dresses, they are attacking the Constitution itself. They are attacking the South Africa that we all agreed to become. Now listen to me carefully. If you were in that restaurant, if you saw that video and you scrolled past and you didn't even give it a second thought, so you said, it's none of my business, oh, another Karening. Today it's a niqab and tomorrow it is you. Whatever that looks like. We need to make it expensive socially and legally for them to behave like that in public. No, we're not a Western country or a constitutional democracy in Africa shaped by many faiths, many people. That is never negotiable. And if they want to drag us backwards with imported hate that they got from the US, local arrogance that they think will protect them, you and I must find resistance in every room that they walk into. Not online, not later, in the moment. And I promise you, if we don't defend each other in public, we're all going to learn the lesson the hard way.
Well said. That was Alhamdulillah. Well said.
Wow.
Great.
Excellent. Who's this brilliant lady?
I'm not really sure. Yeah. Not really.
Wow. You need to find out.
Okay. So again, a message from Nassima. Other political parties are sitting and doing what? What are they? Where are they during this rot taking place? We know about corruption, but the other political parties cannot be sitting, sucking the thumb and collecting fat salaries. My point is the others are just as guilty for keeping quiet. Lastly, the Muslims who are in the DA should hang their heads in shame. Trust me, we're all in agreement about hating the corruption that's taking place. Wassalam. That I agree with you 100%, Nassima. Again, the other political parties are none the better. That is why I say we don't have an option. Inshallah, let's hope we do get an option and we do get an alternative, because I'm sure that they're sitting there also and sucking their thumbs and collecting fat salaries. They're also guilty, 100%. We agree with you. And again, we have said it over and over again. Mohamed Variawa and I have said it openly that again, the Muslims who are in DA should hang their heads in shame. That I'm willing to stand by that fact. Okay? And this is sad, because when you ask them the question, and I'm making an humble appeal to whoever Muslim counselor who is in DA, please come here, sit with us, and let's have an interesting intellectual discussion that how can you support a party that does not believe there's a genocide taking place and that is supporting Israel. I mean, that is totally unacceptable. Okay, so let's see.
There's a video that needs to play there, Doc.
Yeah, you
was sent to us by Shabir.
Okay, I'll play that. Okay, all right, sure. Another message from Mohammed Yusuf. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, Mohammed and Dr.Jeewa, very depressing and concerning topic. Is it not the time to take Islam out to the public instead of leaving it behind the masjid when we leave? We are pointing fingers, rightly so, but 3 fingers point back at us for not conveying the message. What was Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mandate on the 9th of Dhul Hijjah on the Urena Valley, Mount Arafat, a part of which, O people, listen carefully to what I'm saying to you and take these words of mine to those who could not be present here today. We must study the last sermon of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and start counting the earnest appeals Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made in that sermon, which is mandate for Muslims and mankind. Put somebody to challenge me on this, be a professional alim and prove me wrong. And this about our country. I was an ANC member in these days. I have a solution. Let's talk. Okay, so you'll come be our next guest, inshallah, next week. Mohammed Yusuf, we're opening the invitation. Okay. All right, Mohammed Shafi. All right, I got your message. You say, be a whistleblower and you'll get killed. Yes, unfortunately, that's it. Okay, all right, so got another message. Okay, that's about the radios. Okay, we're taking that. Okay, hope you well, Dr. Jeewa. Can I collect my radio from? Okay, I'll go through the last 4 messages and just double check if you're on the list, and then I'll send you a message and you must come and collect your radios. That will make life so much easier for us. That's it. Okay, so I think as Brother Mohamed Variawa said, we did receive a clip from, okay, I got 2 clips, or I know 1 clip, yeah. Okay, let's listen to this.
Nearly 2 billion Muslims across the world, Islam is a pillar of faith and worship, uniting people in every corner of the globe. And let us remember that it is also a pillar of our shared history. For centuries, Muslims have been a crucial source of culture, philosophy, scholarship, and science. From the enormous influence of Avicenna, the great physician and philosopher, whose interpretations of Plato and Aristotle helped shape the development of Western European philosophy, to the Muslim mathematician and astronomer Al-Khwarizmi, responsible for delivering Indo-Arabic numerals and the father of algebra, to the father of rationalism, Averroes, whose groundbreaking commentaries bridged Islamic and Western thought, to the countless contributions of Muslims across every field, from science, technology, and medicine, to literature, art, music, and architecture. Excellencies, today's event shines a light on a vicious plague that represents a complete denial and ignorance of Islam and Muslims and their undeniable contributions. The plague of Islamophobia. Around the world, we see a rising tide of anti-Muslim hate and bigotry, and that can come in many forms: structural and systemic discrimination, socioeconomic exclusion, unequal immigration policies, unwarranted surveillance and profiling, restrictions in accessing citizenship, education, employment, and justice. These and other institutional barriers violate our shared commitment to human rights and dignity. And they also perpetuate a vicious cycle of exclusion, poverty, and disenfranchisement that echoes across generations. Meanwhile, decisive rhetoric and misrepresentation are propagating stereotypes, stigmatizing communities, and creating an environment of misunderstanding and suspicion. This can lead to an increase in harassment and even outright violence against Muslims, rising accounts of which are being reported by civil society groups in countries around the world. Some are shamefully exploiting anti-Muslim hate and exclusionary policies for political gain. We must call this what it is: hate, plain and simple. And purveyors of hate speech are misusing the most powerful megaphone in history to amplify and spread their despicable ideologies: social media. Online platforms have become breeding grounds for extremist ideologies and harassment. This not only deepens divisions, it fuels real-life violence. And sadly, this alarming trend is part of a wider pattern of supremacist ideologies and attacks against Jews, minority Christians, communities, and many others. Hatred of one group fuels hatred of another. Hate normalizes hate. Hate destroys the fabric of our societies, and hate undermines the equality, understanding, and respect for human rights upon which a peaceful future and a peaceful world depend. Excellencies, we cannot stand on the sidelines while hatred and bigotry run wild.
Mashallah, Shabir, that was a good way to end the show. Wonderful message. Brother Mohammed, your concluding comments?
No, that is a fantastic message. I had it in my my chat to send it to you. So well done, Shabir. Thank you. And it's a wonderful way to end the program. Jazakallah, Doc.
Okay, Jazakallah. So that's a wrap for tonight's Nightline on Radio Al-Ansar. Thank you to all the listeners who sent us your message. It was a good engagement. Thank you very much, Naseem Mahmood. It was good engaging with you. The important thing, as we mentioned, is to speak the truth and agree to disagree, but always have respect for each other. But the conversation never ends. Stay connected, share your thoughts. Join us again next week, Saturday, from 8:30 till 8 on 90.4 FM and 105.6 in Peter Marisburg.